My first precept is to do everything I can to understand, really to know in all their dimensions, the persons with whom we have great seats right up here. You don't have to be in the mezzanine. To really know and understand those with whom I'm working to relate as teacher, as friend, as colleague. I go back to the summer of 1946. I was 14 years old at the time, and I was runner in a stock exchange in Boston. And it was called an odd lot exchange, which meant it sold in less than 100 lots. And my job was, when a trader got a call, to take a little slip of paper with the trade and run as fast as I could downstairs to the trading floor and give the slip of paper to one of the other employees who would take it over to a trader from the firm, and that guy would make the trade. At the end of the summer, I was feeling very puffed up and proud of myself as I wrote a memorandum to my boss and said, I figured out that you can save money by having the person who's in my job take the slip and go actually onto the floor, and you could just do without this fellow whose job it is solely to take the slip of paper and go onto the floor and give it to him. And my boss looked at me for quite a while and then said, that fellow who takes the slip of papers has been working for our firm for 38 years. He's 57 years old. If I let him go now, what do you think is going to happen to him or to his family? And I had never thought for a nanosecond of the reality that this person, this was a real person with a real family and a real set of needs. And it was a lesson to try to understand others, to put myself as best I could in their position, to empathize is the word we use now, though it captures only part of really what I mean, because it's so important in teaching students, it's important in life, but it's often hard to do without real effort to come to know students and others with whom one tries to connect. And two brief tales from my time at Indiana University, where I taught regularly as well as was president. The first was when I was teaching a class in Indianapolis, older, part-time, working with family students. And the lesson for the day was the letter from the Birmingham jail. And I walked over to one of the students in the class, a woman in her 30s, and said, Francis, do you care enough about something that you'd be willing to go to jail for that? And she looked at me for a long time and then said, no. You see, my brother's in jail for life, and I've come to Indiana University so I don't have to go to jail. And all of a sudden, it just opened up a world that I had been cocooned from about how this student, but also other students, had to grapple with issues in order to get an education that wasn't handed to them. A while later, I gave awards regularly to outstanding students at the 8 campuses of Indiana University, and one of the awards was to an extraordinary woman at Indiana University, Fort Wayne. And she was just a superstar in everything. And I gave her the award. A couple of weeks passed, and I got a call from the dean of students who said, we have a problem. Janet has dropped out of school. That's the student you gave that award to. And we don't know why, but she won't come to school. She says university is over for her. But would you call her? Because maybe when you call her, it will help bring her back to college. So I said, of course I would. And there's seats up front if you'd like to sit up here and not there. But I called Janet and I said to her, you're the most extraordinary student on that campus, and you can do absolutely anything you want to do. Why did you drop out? She said, well, I'm married. And my husband isn't in college. And as I go through the university, I feel I'm drifting away from him. And I don't want to lose him. And I don't want to lose our marriage. And that's more important than an education. Well, of course, I really wouldn't tell you this story if it didn't have a happy ending, and it does, because we worked and managed to find ways for her husband to come to Indiana University, Fort Wayne, as well as this remarkable woman, and they both went and they both graduated. But again, it was a window into the lives of students who were struggling hard to get an education, but there had been a curtain over those lives that was slowly getting exposed over the years that Ellen and I were there.